Moguls. It's your boy, the one with the scar on his face, your boy Scarface, and welcome back to another episode. Thank you guys for always tuning in every week, supporting the podcast, listening, giving us a thumbs up, sharing it. Wherever you're listening to this, or if you're like on Spotify, leave us a 5-star review, give us a thumbs up, share it with somebody. It might help. Okay, I really do appreciate it. Shout out to everyone who keeps listening, keeps enjoying the content. Because we did get voted for best local podcast. So I'm gonna link it down below. Also got voted for best photographer too. So if you can give me a vote on both of those, it's gonna be linked down below. I would really do appreciate it. You can vote once a day for up until May 20th or something like that. I think, can't remember. Anyways, thank you guys again for all the support. I really do appreciate it. It's because of you guys that the podcast does so well, and the reason I keep making episodes for you guys. Because if you guys didn't like it, obviously, I wouldn't be doing this. So, anyways, thank you guys again. But today I wanted to get into something. Everybody is a little different, right? But it's the top 10 icks a person can have. And I tried making it sex, like no sex, you know what I mean? Like you can be a guy and do this stuff, and you can be a girl and do this stuff. Because again, there's guys and girls who listen to it. The majority of the listening is female, but there are guys who listen to it, and I want to cater to both. So that's why I wanted to cater it to both on this one. So we all have them. We all have our icks. We all have our things that. And then for some reason, like people, there's like memes and stuff going on that people keep adding more and more icks to their list of stuff that they don't like. So hopefully, like, here's some common ones. So like if you do this, or this is something that you struggle with, you're going to be able to change or fix. Okay. So the first one that we have is bad hygiene. Now, I'm always taking multiple showers. Anytime we do an event, I take deodorant with me. I take lotion with me. I take cologne with me. I want to make sure I'm not, because when you're doing an event and running around, like you start sweating, and it's not like you can just leave and take a shower real quick and then come back, So like I think my biggest fear is like smelling. Oh, I also take mouthwash with me too. Like I take mouthwash, lotion, deodorant, cologne, just in case. Okay, you never know. Because I refuse to be that guy who smells bad. Like I don't know. I've smelled some people, and they just stink. Okay, and that's actually a huge turn on. So, fellas, if you're listening to this and come on, you do some things that probably make you stink. Like you don't shower as often, you're not brushing your teeth, and things like that. So take care of all that, because yes, I have ran into the issue with girls. Have you ever like been out somewhere and you go and talk to somebody, and the girl's kind of smelling kind of funky, right? And again, it's happened to guys too. I'm sure it happens both ways. Like that's an instant bad, like a horrible turn off, Or if they got like their teeth aren't well taken care of or anything like that. Like for me, bad hygiene is a huge turnoff for me. It's a huge ick for me, and I'm sure it's a huge ick for you ladies. Like if you ran into a guy, he has like shit in his teeth, looks like he hasn't showered in a while, doesn't come presentable, he's not getting like haircuts, cleaning up whatever he's got going on, even if he's growing his hair. He just smells, like people smelling. I think that scares me. You know what I mean? Like the last thing I would want someone to come next to me and be like, damn, that dude stunk. Like that dude stunk, and that's why, like I said, I shower multiple times a day. I refuse to be the person that stinks. Definitely not me. And I also I take care of myself, brush my teeth, make sure I'm like well groomed, and that way, hygiene I don't think is an issue with me, but let's be honest, there's some people out there who just do not care. I talked about it the other day. There was one time that I usually do well with like bad odors, people smelling. I can withstand people's smells, meaning like I'm not forcing myself to be like, if I'm hanging out with somebody and she stinks, my ass is gonna evacuate ASAP. But there's like certain situations like where you can't, you have to kind of deal with it. Meaning, like one time I was standing in line, right? I was standing in line because I was gonna check out. This was uh they used to have a Smith here, right? They used to have a Smith, and none of them were self checkout. There was like the quick checkout, and then there was the other ones, right? So I'd always go to the quick checkout, obviously, because I would only have a few items. Um, and so I go and I stand right behind somebody, and it hits me. This kid, I don't kid, teenage, I don't know what, and it stunk so bad. Like I started gagging. Like I actually like put my hand up to my mouth, and I was like covering it, like because I was like, am I gonna really throw up right now? Like it was bad. This was the worst I've ever smelled somebody. Like again, I'm really good at withstanding smells, like odors. Uh, Things really don't gross me out or anything like that. So like I do really well. That time, I don't know what it was, but it was like a bad smell. I don't know what it was. It just and like I not only did that not help, like it looked like he had a bunch of shit coming out of his hair or his head, uh, like it didn't look like dandruff. I don't know what it was. Like, and this he stunk so bad. Like I was right behind him, and there was somebody right behind me too. And I even turned around and I was like, am I gonna throw up? Am I gonna throw up? Like, don't throw up, don't throw up. And then after that, like, because I felt like I was really actually gonna puke. I actually got out of line, like I forgot something. I looked at my stuff and I was like, oh shit, I forgot something. And then I just like walked out and like and acted like I was gonna find something. And that was like I would not want to be that. Imagine you're on a date and that's how you show up. You know what I mean? Like she's not gonna call you back because of that. So uh horrible hygiene. Make sure you're taking a shower. Make sure you're cleaning yourself, keeping yourself well groomed. It doesn't take very much to do the bare minimum. Of course, you can do a little bit of extra things like that, which go a long way. Like I'm not gonna tell you to like exfoliate your skin, do this, do that, you know what I mean? Like I'm not gonna tell you to do all that shit. So number two is arrogance. Arrogance. Now people always confuse like arrogance with let's get the actual definition, okay, before I get into it, because I always say, there's a difference between like confidence and like cockiness too, Hold on, let me get the actual definition. So, arrogance is the quality of being unpleasantly proud and behaving as if you were more important than or more than other people. So, you know, I never want like talk about like, oh, I'm better than this person, I'm better than that person. No, never. That's not my style. That's not me. Like if people actually think you're the arrogant one, if you think I'm like that without even talking to me or getting to know me, because people do that all the time. People always assume, people always say this, they always say that. I'm the nicest dude. I'm never above nobody. Uh, is there more experienced people than others? Absolutely, yes. There's definitely levels to anything that you do, right? Like I say it all the time. Like if I get into painting right now and uh, me thinking I'm gonna be like somebody else who's been doing it for like 10 years, you know, uh, that's experience, So like that's what I do mean by like there's different levels to everything, because somebody who's been doing it for 10 years is gonna have a whole different level of experience than someone who just got into something. Okay. But I do say that there's different levels to this because there is. That's just how it is. Like in anything, it can be any industry. There are always levels to everything. That's why I always say, whatever you want to do, just do it and get that experience. Because the more you do it, the more experience you're gonna have, and the better you're gonna know whatever you're doing. Uh, so people mistake that, especially with me. Like I've heard it before. Like people think that I'm all no, not at all. You think that. That's the difference. You think you think that I'm like that. And that's because you have some inner issues going on. That's why, like, when have you ever heard when people are like, "Oh, f them," I got a bunch of haters and this and that. I guarantee you, if you ask that person who the hater is, they don't know who it is. Okay. is because they have issues that they're judging themselves, and so they automatically assume that other people are hating, and so now they start like hating on other people. It's really weird how it works. That's why like when people are like, "Oh, f them haters," if you ask them who they were, very little, seldom do people actually have haters. You know what I mean? Like, um, and so if you ask them, be like, "Who are these haters you're talking about?" It's nobody. It's shit that is going on in their head. They're assuming that people aren't liking their stuff because they feel a certain way towards something or someone. So technically, the hater is the one saying "f them haters." I'm just saying, like, psychologically. Uh, so that's why, like, I've never, especially like after you get to know me, I'm not an arrogant person. I'm not like I'm above everybody else. Fuck everybody. No, absolutely not. Like I try to help build everybody around me. Anybody that like I can. I always try to help people. Uh, doesn't matter if you like, especially if you looking to do video. If you're just bought a camera or like if you ask me questions, I try to answer whatever I can. Um, yeah, I don't do as much mentorship just because I don't have the time to like show you how to do something. You know what I mean? Like maybe eventually when I get more time, I'll be able to show people, like come around, hey, this is what I'm doing. But yeah, it's I always say it's the people who are arrogant are the ones who assume I'm like that, which I'm not, absolutely not. But there are people, don't get me wrong, there are people who are very arrogant and they think they're above other people just because for some reason, because they got a title on their name tag or they reached a certain status. No, no matter how, whatever happens, like if the social medias blow up crazy, like I'm still gonna be Edgar. Like I joke around, I have fun, I love talking to people, I love just like goofing around, and I know when to be serious too. That's never gonna stop. I'm never gonna be like, "Yo, chill, Mister 100 followers." Like, do you know how many I no? That's being arrogant. Like never. Just because I was able to make some entertaining content and people enjoy it, and so people follow it, does not put me above anybody else. I may know how to like it's weird like to do the social media thing because you start learning what people don't like, what time to post and stuff like that. That's a little different. Again, experience. um, but never arrogant. Never like if you again, I'll say it again. If you think I'm an arrogant person, if you think I'm better than other people, that's just you and your self-conscious assuming, and it's just because you have issues going on, not me. So number 3 is rudeness. That is a huge ick to me. Like I remember one time I went on a date, and they had happened to screw up this girl's order. Okay, it happens. You never know. Could be a bad day. She could have had a long day. Something could have happened. You don't know unless it keeps happens over and over and over. Okay, then that's just bad service, right? But hers didn't come out the food the way she wanted. She was blaming the what's it called, the waitress, getting mad at her. She wrote it down right on her thing. It was the cooks in the back that mess it up. So like she's yelling at the waitress. The cooks are the ones that mess it up. You know what I mean? Like, and I was like chill. Like it wasn't even her fault. It's not even that bad. They're gonna fix it. And she was making it seem like, she was just being rude. People who are rude to other people, I just can't. Like I never try to be rude to anybody. Yes, like when you're just messing around with friends and saying some things, joking around. Like I don't like to push that too far because I don't want them to think that I'm not trying to be rude like that. I'm just trying to like just joke around, have fun with the boys, like things like that. Uh, but never to the point where it gets like rude. There's sometimes for example, there's this guy that I know at the gym. He would say some, I wouldn't say it's rude things, but some real vulgar things towards women, like meaning like, and he would say it loud. Okay, like if you want to say it, like, because I'm a guy and you're a guy, cool, I get it, but like, don't say it loud when they can literally hear you. I remember this one girl that she was a good looking girl. He comes up to me because he sees me and he'll talk to me. And he's like, "Damn," he's like, "I want to take that shit to Pound Town," and I'm like, "Bro, shut the fuck up." you know, you said that so everybody in this gym could hear you. and like it's just things like that. So I'd be like, ah, damn, like bro, like I'm not trying to be associated. I'm not trying to be like definitely take it to Pound Town. In my head, I was like, bro, you ain't taking nobody to Pound Town. um, but it's just like things like that, rudeness. How people treat other people. I treat everybody with all the respect. Uh, you know, until it gets to the point where you disrespect me. But I'm never just like rude to be rude. There was a girl who I dated one time who was just rude. Like she would say some stupid, fucked up shit for no reason. Like she was always negative, always rude. I had no idea what I saw in her. It was probably the fake tits. Somebody's gonna put like connect the dots. I don't give a fuck. But she was rude, very rude. All right, so the next one that we do have is dishonesty. Now, I always say this, like when I go into a relationship or like start talking to somebody, or just in general, like lies are gonna get out. Okay, if you say like this and you're not talking to anybody else, and then all of a sudden like all these people come up and then you're talking, you know what I mean? Like, so I always tell people like I always believe I trust you 100% unless you give me a reason not to trust you 100%. But if you give me that reason not to trust you 100%, I don't think this is gonna work out. Uh, or when some people, to this is like when you catch them just lying. Like when you go on a date and they lie about their height, they lie about their how many kids they have, that they're married, like all these stuff that they lie about, like they're dishonest, and that just leads to more lying and more lying. Like they said they were 5'10", they showed up they're like 5'4". Like is that not a red flag right there? Like you show up, you're like, damn, that you're missing a whole 6 inches here. uh, but just this honesty like that is a huge turnoff for me, because I remember I was talking to this one chick a while back ago, and she said that she wasn't talking to anybody else, and I found out she was in fact talking to other people. Instantly I was just like, yeah, no, I'm good. Let her go do her thing. I'm not here to be like, oh, pick me out of all of them. Nah. Now if you're down to give me your attention, I'll get like, you'll see why. Like I'd be worth it, but I'm not gonna do that. If you want to go and be talking to a whole bunch of different people, cool, do your thing. But dishonesty is a huge one. So they're all huge. Okay. Number 5 is selfishness. Now, I'm a very selfish person, and here's what I mean by that. I do things that are in my best interest because nobody else is gonna do something that's the best interest for you. Yes, they can try to help, meaning like no one's gonna come and bring this opportunity here. Like if I and be like, do this. This is a great opportunity. Like you should do it. Uh, sometimes some people do, and they'll open the door for that. But but no one's gonna want the best for you. They're gonna want you to be the best, and hopefully it helps them be their best, if that makes sense, right? So at the end of the day, I always choose me over anything, because I've learned that I have to put myself first. I have to put my best interest first, because nobody else is going to do it. Because why? Because they're putting themselves first and their best interest first. I've done it too before, where I put other people first, their best interest first, and I end up getting bit in the ass, and it happens time and time again, like with a lot of people, right? So that's why I'm selfish to that point, like doing that, but never like, I remember one time this happened, and ever since then I stopped. I was like, damn, I think I kind of am selfish, Uh, I was with my ex. We went to go get some, like, there were some drinks in this little fridge, and there was only one flavor. Like, say that there was this drink, and then there was another one, right? There was two, or there was multiple of the other one, and there was only one of this one, and I wanted that one. But then I was like, hey, which one do you want? And she like chose this one, and I'm like, oh, well, they only have one, and I gave her the other one, and she's like, well, that was very selfish of you. And I actually like sat there and thought about it, and I was like, damn, that was kind of fucked up, right? Like as a guy, I should have offered her whichever one she wanted and been like, oh, well, sucks. Next time hopefully they'll have more of this one, but I'll give her this one because, that's the one she wants, and I can take the other one, and that's why, like, after that, I completely, like, I was like, I can't. I felt like shit after that. So, in other ways, I'm not selfish. Like, I always put myself first, my best interest at first. And that's like business wise, like career wise, and things like that. Because again, like I said, at the end of the day, no one's gonna take care of you more than you. But like in relationship wise, talking to people wise, friendship wise, I always put other people first. I'm always trying to help wherever I can. I'm always trying to put other people's needs first before mine. Okay. But if you see that someone's being pretty selfish in what they do, that's I've never ran into the issue of someone who is super selfish. Uh, so I can't really say like, oh, like look out for this or this is what happened. I'm just saying like I had that one time happen that really stuck out to me, and I still remember it. And I was because afterwards, like I said, I felt like a piece of shit afterwards, and never did that again, or like selfish things like that in a relationship again. Okay, so number 6 is laziness. Now this one's huge for me because I'm always doing things. I'm always up and doing things. Whether it be like a shoot, video shoot, editing, like doing this, going this, like always hustling, always grinding. Okay. And I'm not expecting whoever I'm with to be exactly the same, but someone who just like doesn't do shit. I'm like, how do you have so much free time? Like again, like free time is always good. Like having fun with your friends is always good and things like that. But there's some people who are just lazy, right? And they don't do anything. They work, barely even work. They don't want to really do anything. I'm always doing something. Hey, let's do this. Cool, let's do this. Hey, let's do this. Cool, let's do this. Um, that's somebody who's like, nah, I'm not really feeling like it. Like I usually say that when it's like going out at night. Like I'm not a huge like I'm past that. I'm more of just like not lazy in that point. I just don't want to. There's nothing happens great at night, that late at night. Somebody's always trying to get in a fight, or it leads into a fight. But laziness is huge for me. Like I always want whoever I'm with to be not at the same like busyness as me, but just like also hustles. That way, like they understand my schedule and what I'm doing, and I understand theirs, and someone who's not lazy is more willing to do other things too. Like, oh, let's go do this. Oh, let's go do that. Let's go do this. Somebody who doesn't is just like, nah, let's just stay at home and watch TV. You know what I mean? So again, laziness can vary in like different aspects of people's life, but just laziness for me, like, trust me, I've talked to some people who are just lazy. I'm like, damn, you don't do shit. Like, you're not motivated. You're not doing nothing, like nothing. And I'm just like, can't be for me, dog. That's a no for me. So number 7, this should probably be the first one. Well, there's other ones that should be first one, but this one's high up there. Negativity. Somebody who's negative, get away from me. uh, and there's those always like, and what I mean by negativity is like somebody's always talking bad about somebody. Somebody's always seeing the bad of every situation. Oh my God, this. Oh my God, that. Oh my, and I'm just like, do you see any positivity anytime? Joe Rogan says it best. He's like those negative people, and he's like they'll suck the soul out of you. They're like a cancer. They're like keep those people away. Like people are just negative about everything. Like they're negative about their situation and they're just negative, not because they can't get themselves out. Anybody can get themselves out of their situation. They just want the negativity, like, oh, this, like, oh, and this, instead of being like, damn, this happened, but what can we do to like fucking get out of this situation or fix this shit, and things like that. Like, it's always looking for the positive. Yeah, negative things happen to people all the time, but people who are just constantly negative and negative, like always complaining, always, I'm just like, damn, you complain all the time. Like, why are you complaining all the time? Like, very little positivity. Like, there's nothing that makes that. They got other issues going on with themselves. So those are the people I like. If I feel someone like a negative person, you ain't gonna be around me, dog. I'll tell you that. Yeah, I don't want those people around me because it's like a cancer. It just yeah. See, get off of me. Close-mindedness, and this one can mean a bunch of different things for everybody. But to me, like someone who again doesn't want to experience life, like, oh, let's try this. Oh, let's try this. and someone who would be like, oh, okay, yeah, I've never done that. Let's try it. If I don't like it, then, I probably won't do it again. And I'm like totally fine with that. Open to trying new things, open to like different things that they're not usually used to. Cause I'm the same way. Like, I've never done that, but well, let's see what it's about, or let's do this, or like why this. But just being open minded. I'm very open minded. There's some people who just like, no, whatever they got told, this is it and that's it, and I'm just like, well, I mean, there's a bunch of different options, but it's cool you chose this, but so again, everybody has a different meaning on the closed mindedness. Number 9 that we have is entitlement. It's always those people who feel entitled, and especially like it happens a lot in different fields. Like they feel like they're entitled to certain things just because they think they're someone. You know what I mean? Like I've never been like, yo, do you know who I am? You have to let me in. Or hey, do you know who I am? Like you have to treat me good. I never like that. No. It's funny because somebody said that they thought I was entitled. I was like, no, that's not what I meant by that. Like, because what I mean is like, I know what I bring to the table. I know how I am as a person and I know how I am as a partner. Okay. I'm not going to sit here and like chase somebody. Okay. Not going to do that. Okay. If I give you my attention and and I'm worthy enough of your attention, you know, let's try to make something work. I'm not going to sit here and like try to chase anybody, meaning like, oh no, choose me. No, you know what I mean? Like, that's definitely not my thing. Like and they confused entitlement for that. I was like, no, they thought that I was like saying like, oh, just because of who I am, you should want to date. No, that's not what I meant. It was more of like, I know how I am as a person. If you go back and ask any of my exes, if they're actually sane, they'll they'll be like, he was actually not a bad boyfriend. He was actually a very good boyfriend. Because again, I'm like someone you're going to be like, dang, he's actually a really good boyfriend, or never been a husband, so really good boyfriend, Uh, so that's what I mean. Like, I know what I bring to the table, and I know like what I can do if I like somebody. That's why I'm like, I'm not gonna chase you. Like, if you don't want that, then cool. Then let somebody else chase you and try to show you that. But entitlement, yes, I don't like people like when they're like, oh, like they feel like they're entitled to certain things just because. Um, uh, because so there was this one time I got hired for a gig, right? And some things happened and out of my control, and I showed up a little late. But then they were like going off saying like you're supposed to do this, you're supposed to do that. And I was like, bro, like this happened. There's nothing I could have done about it. Like nothing I could have done about it. It sucks it had to happen today, but I'm still here. Okay. I still made it on time. Yeah, we didn't get what you wanted beforehand, but I still made it on time and we didn't miss the most important part. uh, you know what I mean? Like, so there's people like that. And after that, I was just like, I never worked with this dude again. So the last one that we do have here is lack of empathy. Now, I have empathy for things. You know what I mean? Depends what it is. I don't emphasize I don't have empathy when you're lazy. uh, for example, like some people like I always say people make excuses for everything. Everything. Oh, I'm gonna do research. Oh, this happened. Oh, this happened. No, I don't. I have a shit ton of stuff to do. But if I say I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna make it happen. Every Monday I come out with the podcast. So guess what? Every Monday I try to make it happen. Uh, it's like if I leave or something like that, then that's the only time I don't have an episode because I had a lot of shit going on during the week. But people are like, oh, this like the littlest excuses, and I'm just like, you really don't want this, like me. Like there's some days like I'm just like, fuck, like I had a lot of stuff going on, but I gotta do this. Let me do this. Let me do this. Like let me not make excuses. Uh, like when was it too? Like the other day I was making excuses in my head about not going in, not to go run. And then in my head, I'm like, just need to stop making those fucking excuses. Just go run. Cause I had showed up, like I went to the park to run And I got there, it was cold outside, it was raining, and I'm like, it's cold. I'll be fine. I'll just run tomorrow. Like it's fine. So I left. I actually left. But then I got back here and I was just like, fuck, like, why didn't you just run? I saw people were being active on social media. I'm like, quit being fucking lazy, you know? I went back and I ran. After I had just came back, like I was like, no, fuck this, going back. We're gonna knock this bitch out, even though I didn't want to. Felt great afterwards. So that's what I mean. Like excuses, it depends on what type of empathy. But of course, like if something happens, like something, I'm like, oh shit, I'm so sorry. Is there anything I can do? You know, and things like that. I'm not just like, oh, well that sucks, you know, and then just forget about it. No. So again, depends on what type of empathy, because if you're making excuses for something, I'm not gonna empathize with that. Like I'm not gonna be like, oh, it's okay tomorrow. No, I'm gonna be like, you fucking lazy. You just got lazy. Like that's an excuse. That's an excuse. Like, and people don't like that, and because I'm so blunt and straightforward, and I'm just like, I would want somebody to tell me, yo, quit making excuses. Because you know, I tell myself that shit. That's why I'm always doing. People are like, how the fuck are you doing this? You know, trust me. There's some days I don't want to do it, but those same days, I have a conversation with myself, and I'm like, quit being so fucking lazy, Edgar. Like, you need to do it, because there are people right now who are making the same excuse and they don't do it. Nah, we ain't gonna do that. We gonna do it. So it totally depends. I think a huge ick for me that's not on here, this is a bonus ick, okay, is ignoring me, okay? I fucking hate it. I hate getting ignored when I know for a fact you saw me, okay? That shit grinds my gears and I get like an ick and I'm just like, whatever, okay? For example, okay, one time they have like this Latin night out in a city like 45 minutes away from here. Had told this girl I was gonna go, right? She told me she was gonna go. I was like, I bet I'm gonna be there, see her, talk to her, whatever, yada yada. She gets there and she just like starts ignoring me like I fucking did not exist. I saw her, walks right past, and I'm just like, cool. All right, whatever. I had only gone because of her. So after that, I was like, you know what, fuck this. I'm like, I didn't show up to be fucking ignored. And then I left. As soon as I left, I get a message. Why'd you leave? I'm just like, you fucking ignored me. Like that shit, like I hate that. Like instead of just being like, hey, how's it going? Like, what are you doing? Boom, talk for a little bit. I'm gonna go get some drinks with my friends. I'll see you in a little bit. How hard is that? You know, I would have been like, all right, cool. Yeah, that's what's up. But instead you just like walk by, literally see me and walk by. And then it's happened another time. It's just, again, if it happens one time, right? Like say, oh, I didn't see you in this. I'm like, all right, okay. You know, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. But if it happens again, I'm just like, nah, you ignore me on purpose. I ain't doing that shit. You know, that shit turns me off. I don't give a fuck who it is. Just please not be Peggy G. Don't ignore me, Becky. I would get upset if it said red under my message that I sent her, then I'd feel ignored. But since she's never opened it, then it doesn't hurt. But again, what are your icks? I know you can on Spotify, you can put what your icks are. If I didn't catch or if I didn't say one, what are some of your icks? Okay, or if you're listening on YouTube, write down the icks. Give us a thumbs up, 5-star. I know you guys love it. Shout out to everybody who comes over from TikTok. Give us a vote. Be sure to vote. You can vote every day. I really do appreciate you guys. You know, the reason the podcast does so well is because of you guys. It's not me. Of course, you guys love how I deliver the content to you guys. But at the end of the day, like I wouldn't be doing this if there wasn't listens, views, downloads, and you guys do that, not me. So thank you guys again. I really do appreciate it. So again, give us a thumbs up, vote for us. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. See you guys.